The show is about to start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I just wanna be the greatest. Everybody knows my name, shit. I'ma have this whole fucking game list, spitting with the same wit, and I'm gonna be famous. Ain't nobody able to delay this. Coming up, I had a vision to make it. Never wanted to be nothing, always wanted to play shit. Sit in class, always wondering why I love this lame shit. How the hell am I different if we all know the same shit? I ain't never let them doubt me, it's about me. Keep my head down, let my mouth speak. This around me, they all about the clout, see where the crowd be. Every time I speak loudly, they more about me. Man, you know I got a bounty on these lousy ass haters that surround me. So they doubt me, they don't know nothing about me. So their mouths breathe, I'ma change that soon. Better watch out now, see?
I just wanna be the greatest, yeah. And I just wanna be famous, yeah. I just wanna be the greatest, yeah. And I just wanna be famous, yeah.
And I'm not playing any more games. Either put me on the charts or I'll put you up in flames. Better recognize art, cause I don't forget names. Should've seen me from the start, coming at you like a train. Think I'm about to fall apart every single fucking day. Seeing all these damn stars with my well-deserved fame. And I spit these gold bars while they spitting out shit. Man, I give this shit hard, but it gives me back pain. I wanna be a spectacle, they skeptical. But man, I got the chemical, exceptional. I do it all intentional, professional. So I can make that decimal incredible. I'm not thinking, man, they're saying that I've gone insane. I'm not ever gonna make it cause the game has changed. I'm not good enough, man, no that's not okay. Tell me that shit again and I'll stop your brain.
I just wanna be the greatest, yeah. And I just wanna be famous, yeah. I just wanna be the greatest, yeah. And I just wanna be famous, yeah.
Now wake up, you got some shit to do. It's 6 a.m, I don't care, you got some shit to prove. Cause right now, you ain't got nothing that big to lose. So get your ass to work and don't you dare hit snooze. Can't stop this, I'm obnoxious. And I'm honest and novice, with promise. Made monstrous, I'm conscious, but I'm nauseous. Think I've lost it, I've got it. Spitting all this, still I'm not it, I've got this. I will not quit, man, I'm all in. Ballin', on a budget, man, I'm stalling. Crawling, cause I'm nothing, but I'm all in. Calling, I'll be something, yeah, I'ma get it now. You can leave if you don't like it. Say it out loud, you believe it, you can bite this. Keep my head down and I keep on going timeless. Make it somehow, I believe it when I write this.
I just wanna be the greatest, yeah. And I just wanna be famous, yeah. I just wanna be the greatest, yeah. And I just wanna be famous, yeah.
What is good, everybody? Welcome to the Reality Check, where AK's the name and knowledge is the game. Appreciate you guys for stopping in, showing up. It's been a long time, very long time. You know, did not anticipate it to be this long. A lot of things have happened in these past 8 months, some of which, you know, I even question if I'd even be back. So, you know, it's a lot to get through mentally, you know. It was definitely rough, but we're all going to find out together. I question some things, but we'll see what happens. I am joined with my buddy here, Randy. Appreciate you, sir, for joining me and doing the show with me today. You know, it's good to see a comfortable face. So, you know, nah, man, it's really been rough. You know, I've never known the mental side of things, you know, when it comes to mental health until what happened. And, you know, not that day, not only did I lose one of my best friends, but I also lost a big part of myself, you know, and it took a long time for me to get back, you know, and I will say this, man, I'm nowhere near who I used to be. You know, I try every day, you know. I even sometimes question if I'm going to have the entertaining factor on here, you know, like I used to. But I appreciate everyone out there who always asked about me, always checked up on me. You know, Randy, you first and foremost, Mitch, you know, everyone. You know, it's halftime. You guys have been a great support cast. You know, couldn't ask for better friends on here. So thank you guys for everything. And hey, by the way, we hit 1K. You know, I was not a part of that. You know, um, and I thank each and every one of you for stepping up and continuing to do all the hard work and dedication that it took to do it. You know, I couldn't ask for a better group of individuals in this network. You know, you guys are amazing. Um, you know, I didn't keep to my word, but you guys kept to yours. But I will do what I can moving forward to, you know, make up for my loss. So,
You kept this network afloat by having us a StreamYard while you were away. So, you know, even though you might not have been there mentally, you were there spiritually. So, you know, we also have you to thank as well for that, because obviously this is your baby. If it wasn't for you sitting down with the boys and thinking about an idea about potentially building this bad boy up from the ground up to what it is now, and boy, don't, by all means, don't let this mean that we're done. No, this is the beginning now. Like, now this is where we feel like where hardcore sports can now start to compete. So this is just the beginning. But again, like, a thank you to you, and a thank you to Mitch and to Tyler for you guys sitting around the round table and thinking of the Hardcore Sports Network. So you know, it's been some tough times, like you said, but looks like the chat here is definitely coming to show some support. So right away, here's Daniel Sports, like always, popping into everyone's chat. Usually the first guy, if not the second guy, popping in. So big shout out to him. Then we got obviously Coach with his PC.
I heard you were going through some tough times as well, Coach. You know, I hope you are doing good as well. It's been a long time since we got to talk, and I miss talking with you. So, you know, appreciate you stopping in, man.
And then obviously a big supporter of yours, Nina.
Oh, Nina, yes, yeah. Hey, I need to see some more mom dance videos. So, you know, I loved watching those. They were spectacular. You know, her mom is amazing. You know, she's one of the best Eagle fans there are, man. When we win, she starts grooving, doing her thing. So, you know, yeah. So,
yeah,
definitely appreciate you. Thank you.
That's awesome. And then we have Sports and Wrestling Connection. Says, what's up, AK?
How you doing, sir?
Believe you know this gentleman next here, Mr. Koski.
Yeah.
Mr.
No,
Koski.
I owe you the biggest thank you of all, man. You know, you truly have stepped up over these last 8 months. As, like I said, that I've been going, and you kept everything afloat, you know, and you did it all, and I put the stress on you, and I'm sorry for that, but I'm not sorry because it worked out. So, you know, keep doing your thing, man. Love you, buddy, and thank you for everything. People were fools for letting you go before, but we got you here, buddy.
And then need a follow-up question to your response.
Yeah, no, it was a big loss for all of us. You know, he was a very close friend here on YouTube, and he did a lot of streams with all of us, and you know, he was gladly to say actually, but sadly at the same time, he was the backbone and the heartbeat of us. You know, he really was, and it's a very big kick in the balls, but we'll get over it. You know.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's tough because like when Jeff was on, everybody wanted to go hop on with him and be on with him because you knew the energy that he brought. You're right away there knowing like, okay, like I gotta match this. So it's like, you know, like you said, you it's taken you a little bit, but you know what, small steps, like I said before the show. So, and then Mitch says StreamYard is huge, absolutely. And then one of our big supporters there, Mr. El Capitan himself, Rafa.
What's up, Ralph? How you doing, sir? Long time no see, man.
And
Do
then he
you
says,
have time? How you doing, sir? I'm glad to see you too, man. We'll get together soon.
"What's up, Melvin? Thanks for popping in, bro. That's right. Go Birds."
Yeah, we're gonna get to some birds talk here soon.
And then, Coach, this is to you, AK. He's still the
The
sexiest man.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Halftime might have something to say about that.
Don't take a drink of coffee when he's about to say something. Yeah, there we go. Speaking of, there you go. There's the man
Yep.
himself, Mr. Halftime. What's up, sir? And then Spongy,
Yeah.
the loyal sponge.
Special cards. Yeah.
Yes, and then Sunday, yes, Mitch. I'm honored that the people wanted to sit down and listen to you interview me. So yeah, I'm blessed that you picked it. I'm just glad it's not super fucking early in the morning like you've been doing the other ones, because no, this boy ain't waking up that early. So we pushed it back an hour, but it's still pretty early in the morning, so it should be fun.
Coach. I know, man. When those shades go on, man, he pops. You know, I don't get
It's on.
it.
Yes, that's right, Spons. That's right. You see the jersey. That's right. That's right. One of the greatest white boys.
Listen, there's a lot that we could talk about. I'm not even going back to last year. That's done. It's over with. You know, I'll just keep my opinions to myself on that one. There's no use to even going into that shit. So my first topic with you and your opinion is I want to know what you feel the hiring of Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore is to you. You know,
Oh, okay. First we what is Derek Weiss? What? Oh, Jesus! Come on, Sponge. You're just thinking of all the dope jersey swaps now, like the Jalen Suggs, so it says Suggs Dick. Yeah, we all know that one. Yeah, we get that. Yeah, they're gonna be epic. They're all gonna be epic because of his name. But yeah, to answer your question, first of all, I'll go with the Vic Fangio. How many years now has the Eagles been trying to basically implicate the Vic Fangio system from the outside, whether it be like a prospect or somebody who was from the Fangio tree, and now finally we get the said man himself. Do I think it might be a little bit too late? Yes, maybe, because now a lot of people understand Fangio's system, but Fangio is still a stud. He understands the game. He understands how to adapt. And the one thing that I took was when he got hired, I wanted to see automatically what was said about him. And at first there was a little bit of negativity that he demands a lot out of his players. And I was like, that's a negativity? You're playing in the goddamn NFL as a defensive player. I would want my coach not to be buddy. I would want him to be to get the best out of my players' max potential. And if that happens, he's got to kind of rub you a little bit the wrong way, so be it. But guess what? It's working. Because then afterwards, shortly afterwards, a lot of players came out afterwards and were siding with Vic Fangio, saying, "Oh, we like the signing because he gives players the ability to play and let them be the player they want to be." So for that aspect, yes, I'm excited. But do I think we have enough guys in the system or they're here now to help his system? Yes and no, because it is kind of like hit and miss. And then as for the Kellen Moore, obviously you're going to go based off the numbers that what he had with the Chargers, but then you got to look at what the Chargers had for weapons. When you looked at Mike Williams goes down almost instantly for them, then they don't really have Keenan Allen for the remainder of the season. Sorry, so it's Joshua Palmer, Austin Eckler, and then just a bunch of dudes, and he was still able to put up 3,000 plus yards, and he was injured as well. So for me, I look at, okay, so he comes here, he needs a dominant back in order for his system to work. So they go out and they get Saquon Barkley. And I was like, oh, damn. Okay, that's interesting. Do I think the tires might be a little bit run on the Saquon train? Yes, but I also do feel like with a better O-line where he can get less hits, where he's got to take, I can't remember the metric, but it was said something where like his expected hit between or from the height of the ball to his hands was like 1.9 behind his O-line at his peak. So it was like basically as soon as he was handed the ball, he was having to make a man miss almost instantly. When the ball was handed to DeAndre Swift last year, it was 2.9 or 3 or something like that. So it was like literally Swift was actually going forward before he finally got contact. So thinking of the player that Saquon is and what he could bring healthy, I was like, man, like that might be a steal. And then you look back and you go, man, well, how he ever done this in the past? He kind of admitted to it in his presser when he said, he goes, I was in the building when we re-signed Brian Westbrook. I was the GM when we re-signed McCoy to $9 million. So it's like, it's not necessarily out of the norm, but it wasn't something that they did recently in the past. So it's like, you have to look at the player. And for me, the player was the reason why they did that. So for all that and a broad-winded, I'm excited, but I'm also real skeptic as well.
Yeah, no, I like the very last thing you said because that's exactly how I feel.
Okay.
I like him, but I'm also skeptic about it. You know, I understand everyone being excited for Vic. I get it. I just need to see it work.
Yeah.
Last year really taught me a lot, especially the Super Bowl. You know, first, whenever I saw the 49ers run Christian McCaffrey into the ground, literally into the ground, you know, kid could barely pick himself off the ground in overtime, you know. It really made me start to think about 2017 when we had Blunt and Jay Ajayi, that 2-back punch.
Mm.
I love Saquon. I mean, hell, I'm a Penn State fan. You know,
right.
Did I feel that was our major, most important position at the time? No, but I loved it. You know, I really think that we need a second punch at halfback. In all honesty, I know there's people out there who have faith in Kenny Gainwell, man, but
I don't.
Kenny is not him. He's good at times and bad at other times. You know, he has his moments. Saquon is going to do a lot of. Okay, let me rephrase this. First, why I was a little bit shady about Saquon is because in the last 5+ years, tell me what head coach has ever used a halfback correctly in this offense? You know, so
You're
when
right.
we went out and we spent all that money, instantly I'm like, okay, I'm going to completely implode if he only has 150 carries this year. I will go ballistic. You're paying $34 million for 3 years for 150 carries. That is not Saquon. You better run the shit out of him. He better have 250 carries. I mean, he better have a lot of touches, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
We've never had a head coach do that lately. So I want to see them do that. You're paying this man that money. You're saying he is him. Well, then make him be him. You know?
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I was skeptical on the halfback thing. Because I was like, if you're not going to use him, well, hell, you could go out and get an A.J. Dillon. You could go out and get an Eckler. You could go out and we've made halfbacks work before. You know, that shouldn't work. So that was my only thing. You know, as long as they utilize him correctly, I'm cool with it. You know, but you have to do it. You can't. If Saquon has 9 carries in a single game, I'm going to blow up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that shouldn't be even a thing. He should have 20 a game. Easy. Easy. So, you know, no more tush pushes either. When you get Saquon, that kind of eliminates the tush push, I would say.
Yeah.
You know, the tush push to me was implemented because we didn't have a power back to get that last little, you know, inch or yard or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So we implemented the tush push because it was unstoppable and Jalen is strong to do it. First off, I want to see a squat challenge between these two guys.
Yeah. Yes.
But because you have Saquon, you shouldn't ever do the tush push anymore. I shouldn't say ever, but you should not have to do it as much. You know
Constantly.
what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Which will help our offensive line not get completely like
Destroyed.
You know.
Yeah. Ran over.
Yeah, that's a lot of weight in that big ass ball of people. You know.
Yeah.
So that was my only thing there, but I love the signing. Saquon, if they use him correctly, bro, this is probably the most dynamic, unstoppable offense. Seriously.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes would shit bricks to have this offense. Like, let's be real. Anyone. Yes. And you know that's the thing. I gotta say this, man, because you've heard me talk about it, and I've talked about it with Mitch, and I've talked about it with Halftime, and even Adam Costa. I want to see Jalen Hurts under center a lot more this year.
Please.
The last 3 years, I have seen this in the shotgun. I get it, RPO system. Dude, there's more to football than RPOs.
Yes.
There is. You know, I need to see Jalen under center, man. Because if this is his third offensive coordinator and he is in shotgun all over again, all the time, I'm going to start to question if Jalen can even run under center. Now, I know that's a stupid thing to say because I've seen the kid do it in college.
Right.
But doing it and doing it effectively is another thing.
Yes.
You know, Nick likes to sit there and state that he plays his players to their strong suit. Are you telling me that that's not a strong suit of his? So I want to see Jalen under center, man. You need play action. You need to open this up.
Yes.
Yeah, that is something that we've been missing these last 3 years.
Honest.
So they need to fix that, man, in my opinion. And I think Kellen Moore can do it, and I hope he does it. You know, and if Nick really is saying Kellen's the guy on the offense, he's the one in charge, then you know, there should be a big change. Hopefully a little less RPOs and a little more run play action, you know, deep pass, medium passes, whatever.
Or even some Saquon Barkley into the backfield passes as well to utilize him. Maybe get 300 touches doing it that way 25, 30 times a season. You know, so.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying, man. And that's not a knock on Hurts. That's not a knock on Nick. That's not a knock on Kellen. I just don't know what's going on. I don't know how no one's asked that question. I don't know how anyone's never questioned it. But I started to question it last year. I think last year he only ran under center 9 times the whole year. 9.
And wasn't that basically mostly most of the time him actually taking the ball and running with it because he had to go up and get like that so like a lot of it was designed.
No, that's excluding push pushes. That is excluding push pushes. Okay. That takes that away. He only played under center 9 times last year. That's you can't do that. At least in my opinion.
Sit back and relax, and they know what's coming now at this point. Like you said, you want. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. And then if this is the case, and this happens where like you just see another OC come in and it's just Hurts again doing the same thing, then I think you do bring some levy to the situation of it. Maybe it is developmental Hurts, and maybe there is something that was overlooked and he can't. And then now that becomes a bit of a declaring.
Let's not say that.
no, but like you said though, like
we're not hating on him. Like I said, listen, there are things that you can look at every quarterback in this league, every starter in this league, and there's something negative about them.
Of course,
everyone. Even Pat Mahomes has a negative somewhere. I don't know where, but it's there somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just saying, and I see coaches comment, you know, he had more success in gun at Oklahoma than versus under center. And I get it, man. I'm just saying, I feel your quarterback is a major part of your success. Okay, it is. And I need a quarterback, and everybody should feel this way. Well, no matter even if you're an Eagle fan or not, you need a quarterback who can do it all. You know, I'm serious. You know, I'm just saying that there are certain things I feel that if you can't play under center, that is a very big major flaw to sustaining success. We'll put it that way. You know, you can be successful with it, but eventually people are going to catch on. You
Right.
know, and yeah, you can change it, but there's only so many ways you can change it in shotgun before you have to start going other directions. And that is one thing that I felt last year was a little messed up with our offense. Whenever shotgun wasn't working anymore, why didn't we go to some under center? Try something different, you know?
Yeah.
You know, most people will say, don't fix what ain't broken. We'll fix what's broken, you know? I don't know, man. I'm just saying there's things that I question in this offense. Now, I don't
Which is
know if
fair.
it is I don't know if it is Nick. I don't know if it is just because of Jalen and who he is and how he plays. I don't know if it is just how they're just stubborn and that's the way they want to do it. I have no idea. I'm not putting any blame on anyone. I just feel playing under center and play action would open up this offense a lot more than just running in shotgun 98% of the freaking time. You know?
Yeah. I have a question for you though. Now, does that mean that now with the signing of Saquon, do you think that like this offense is going to be more predicated 60-40 or is it going to be a 50-50 towards the run?
I would listen, man. First off, if you got Saquon Barkley, in my opinion, you better be a run first team.
Yeah.
Like that's what you're telling me. You are sorry, my son.
She's agreeing. She's like, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, my son has Down syndrome. He is 6 years old, about to be 7 in April.
He's agreeing.
He cannot talk. He does not talk at all. He hasn't talked ever. So he yells when he wants something, and then he laughs about it. So if you hear him yelling, he's not hurt. He's not upset. He's literally just being him. So just kind of ignore it, and I apologize. What were we talking about? What did you ask me?
Do you think now that we have Saquon, the offense is going to be 60-40 or is it going to just be 50-50? We're like, because I think he should get the ball 25 plus times a game. If you got a bell cow like that, you got to run that sucker.
Yeah, no, man. He should have it 25 to 30 touches a game, and that's what I'm saying. If you want to run the ball, okay. This is why I feel you should be under center too, especially when you're running certain times. I don't mind running out of shotgun, but I feel it is a lot harder for a halfback to get forward momentum when you are in shotgun because he has to pause a moment, wait for you to hand him the ball, and then take off. Where when you're under center and you hike the ball, the QB turns around, the halfback's already running forward. He already has momentum. You know, you're only stalling out your halfback by running out of shotgun, in my opinion. You know, and I'm not saying that all the time. It doesn't happen that way. You know, sometimes we get really good runs out of shotgun. Then there's times that we look really fucking shitty. You know, I don't know, man. I just that's just my opinion of things. You know, we don't always have to run out shotgun.
No, true. So now the question goes, now that we do have Saquon, do you think there's going to start to be maybe a little rift that A.J. Brown might not see the ball as much because we're going to be predicated towards maybe more of a run style?
I still think A.J. is going to get his 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think Smith is going to get his 1,000 yards. You're right. He's going to have to take a step back. He's going to have to listen. Last year, AJ was the dog.
Yeah.
Okay. He was the dog. He still is the dog, but Saquon's a different dog. Saquon's the dog you bring in to replace the dog.
Yeah.
AJ is a difference maker. He is a game wrecker, but Saquon is a game changer. You know, Saquon is one of few people in the NFL you can truly say you paid to change your team.
Right.
You're not paying AJ Brown to change your team. You know, you pay Saquon for that. Saquon is let me. I feel like I'm really taking some credit away from AJ, but I'm not. And I know people might twist what I'm trying to say. Like, AJ is dynamic. It's just there are certain gems in the NFL, like TJ Watt, you know, Aaron Donald, or he retired, you know, that they just are on a whole nother level from everyone else. You can literally throw them into any scheme and they will work. I don't know if you can throw AJ into any scheme and he'll just work, you know, but Saquon is that guy. He is a top 5 talent. He changes someone's team. He would change anyone's team instantly. So, you know, that's the way that I look at that. Now, he's going to have to take a step back for Saquon to and for our franchise to achieve what we want to this year. Whether or not he'll be okay with that, that's beyond me, but I think as long as we're winning, he's not going to care.
Facts.
Plus, not just that, man. I truly think our media blew that shit up a little bit more than what it should have been.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I honestly don't think AJ had an issue at all.
Yeah.
And secondly, we're talking about two guys who were best friends, are best friends. You know, he's the godfather of his child.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure they can say things to one another that most people can't, and it's not going to hurt their feelings, you know?
Right.
So we just got to let it alone. You know, it's not like this is – it's nothing, man. It's really
I want to say really quick, too, though. If that was Tom Brady yelling at his teammates, it would have been no news because Tom Brady's trying to get the best out of his players. Who's to say that that's not what AJ Brown was trying to say to Jalen Hurts? Because maybe he thought Jalen Hurts' body language was reading like as if like he just didn't care, and he's like, "Come on, man! Like I need you. I need that Jalen Hurts." You know, so it's like we're thinking that they're going back and forth about a catch, but he's like probably telling them like, "No, I need you to get in that mindset." And like you said, the media just blew it up.
Yeah, he was probably telling them, get angry, man.
Yeah.
Like, show me some pissed off shit. Like, show me anger. You know,
Yeah.
I hardly doubt it was about that, man. I mean, we had 2,000-yard receivers last year. How much more can you get them the ball? I mean, so, oh, man, I had something, too. Oh, well, doesn't. So, we went over the signing of Barkley. That was part of topic 2, so we're not even going to touch that one. Huff, first and foremost, I love the signing. You know, and I guess I hear there's rumors that we're probably keeping Riddick. So, if that's true, I don't know, but if he stays, that's amazing. If he doesn't, I'm not too concerned about it. All right. Bryce Huff was brought in here to be a bigger role than what he was in New York. You know, the more his play snaps went up at the end of the season last year, the better Bryce got. I really think Bryce Huff could have the potential to be better than Hassan. He's only 25. He hasn't really played that. He hasn't played a full year yet. He's only, you know, been in and out of the lineup, you know, rotation. So I don't know, but I understand why. I don't want to get rid of him because I would love having Huff and Riddick on both sides. That would be dynamic, you know. But you got to also have room for Nolan too, you know. Got to see what that kid's got. You spent a 30th, right?
Yeah, first round pick. Yeah, last pick or
pick on him. So kind of got to see what he's got. Yeah, man. I just. By the way, did you notice that Bryce Huff is just a overgrown Boston Scott?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He just looks like a grown ass man from
He's a
Boston
grown
Scott.
ass man, Boston Scott.
Yeah,
It's like you took Boston Scott and you shoved him with fucking stuffing, and he blew
yeah,
up
and
like.
then they made him like that jacked up version
Yeah,
of
dude, I'm
himself.
not
Yeah.
even playing, dude. He's a blown up Boston Scott.
Yeah, I was I was watching the presser. I'm like, who the hell are they kidding? This is Boston Scott. Like they got Boston Scott to come in and beat Bryce up. But yeah, you're right. He looks exactly like
Dude,
Boston
they have
Scott,
the same haircut.
and he
The
made the same
haircut.
hairstyle. Yeah,
They
yeah, yeah. I was like,
I don't know. I'm just. We live in a simulation.
yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, I think you found your twin. Ironically, same team. It's like what?
Bro, twin brother.
Yeah,
That's almost like Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yes,
What was that movie? Step
twins,
Brother, right? Or
twins,
twins. Yeah.
twins. Yeah,
No, that is literally what it is. They
yes.
could be our own Philly twins. Oh, that's a good. That's a good one.
There you go. Yeah, if you could, yeah, the Philly twins.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No.
that was crazy. When I was like, what? I was like, there's no way. Then I went and looked at Boston Scott, and then I was like, and then I put them side by side, and I was like, son of a bitch.
Dude,
I
they
was
are
like,
just images one on one. Yeah, I'm not even
yeah.
playing. Funny.
Oh, God,
Um. So listen, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I was a little bit shocked about CJ Gardner Johnson. You know, and the
Same.
only reason that I'm shocked about it is because after he left, things got a little heated, and I figured he wouldn't want to come back. But hey, I was wrong on that one, and I'm glad he's back because we damn sure missed him last year. But he was also injured, so kind of wouldn't have missed him anyway. You know.
Yeah.
But how you like it?
Yeah,
By the way.
I was a bit surprised because like you said, like how he left and like how he said like F y'all and like you guys are all just a bunch of bitch asses and someone stole his car from Philly, so he was like even more pissed about it. So he was like even like I was like Eagles signed CJ Gardner Johnson. I'm like, and then you look at what money he got guaranteed and everything. It was like he still didn't even get a bag. So it's like when you think about it, when the Eagles originally offered him that deal before he left to actually go to the Lions and now eventually comes back, he should have just took that deal because that deal was better than anything he had in the last 2 years. He ended up just getting 1 year deals back and forth for petty cash. So it's like that to me was kind of like, wait, what the hell? But I like the dog that he is. He brought that ferociousness to the Lions when he was playing, and like you look on their playoff run when he was there, like man, like they were able to play free knowing that CJ was back there. And like you said, when we didn't have that, look what happened. Our team looked like a shell of themselves. Beantown says, wouldn't be surprised me if Barkley has a massive bounce back with the Eagles. We all saw what he did in college with a good offensive line, and he's a Patriots fan.
Yeah. No. Listen, you weren't wrong. Barkley was 31st in the NFL last year when it came to contact behind the line.
See,
like they were. He was literally getting hit every time, negative yards before.
Yeah, they said he had to make like guys miss. Like that's why he was like all over the place. Because I shouldn't have done that. That looks bad online now. But he was all over the place. I'm gonna call an air dicker. If you ever see Ricky the Nicky, I'm an air dicker. That's hilarious. I'm an air dicker. My wife's seen this. You're watching this back, Alicia. I'm an air dicker. But anyways, anybody that watches Ricky Stenicki will get that comment. Yeah, man. He was facing trouble right away, like right off the hop. Like he had to make stuff happen. So yeah, 31st. Wow.
Yeah. No. I'm just going from 31st to first, man.
Yeah.
Listen, I understand there's a lot of people who might think that our offensive line might take a step back this year.
No counts.
Exactly. Replacing a Hall of Famer is very hard. Very hard. By the way, I'm just going to say this. I have no sources. I'm just going by gut here.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he's done.
Okay.
I watched his podcast, dude, and I always watch it. My wife is a big fan of him and his brother. You know, she loves it. And he seemed very excited about Saquon. And if you remember, he made that comment on his podcast. He's like, shit, way to go, Howie. He's like, of course, the moment I retire, you get a good halfback and you're going to have a dynamic season. He's like, you would do that to me. And he's like, makes me regret even walking away. And I was like, what are you saying? I'm just saying, man, if he sits out for a little bit in the next few months here, and say 2-3 months from now roll around and he feels okay, just saying.
Who knows? It's to come back.
It's happened before. You've seen players retire and come back. It has happened. So I don't know, man. I think he might regret leaving because of what just happened. Okay. And like I said, the main reason he retired was because of his body. And I understand he wants to be able to play with his girls. He wants to be able to get up in the morning, but he also knows what it felt like last year, and he also knows what it felt like the year before. And if he feels that there is any freaking chance in hell he can get one more,
oh hell yeah, why not go for it now?
You know?
And then here Sponge says Carter's gonna fill big shoes now that Fletcher Cox is gone.
Yeah, you know, and I hope it also lets our big man Milton Williams get a little chance to shine too, dude. Yes. You know, he is. This is one thing I gotta say, dude, and this is one thing I get frustrated with, and I hope, because if this Riddick thing is true, I hope it doesn't happen to Nolan. We tend to get a lot of talent at certain positions, and we flood it. And sometimes we don't give the young guys the chance, and we end up losing on some pretty good talent, aka like Roswell Douglas, you know.
Jordan Poyer.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if you keep Riddick and you have Huff, how much is Nolan going to get a chance to play?
Right.
You know. And then how about next year and the year after? You know, so I'm just, we tend to overflood it, and then sometimes we don't let certain players shine. And I feel Milton has been one of those players. With Cox sitting there for the last 3 years, you're playing him because he's Fletcher Cox. You're not really playing him because of the production he's doing. It's because of who he is, and he's just a big body, you know.
Right.
Let's all agree Fletcher Cox last year was not Fletcher Cox, you know. I feel Milton would have given you more because he's never been paid. He has a lot to prove, you know. Yeah. Young players have a shit ton to prove. So that's all I'm saying. And that's why I didn't really like the Brandon Graham signing. I understand the contract and wanting him to retire an Eagle, but what about Nolan?
Yeah.
You're not going to want to sit Fiji. You're going to make him a rotation. I'm just saying, man. It's
plus we still have Sweat.
You got to develop the young guys. Yeah, and you still have Sweat too. You got to develop the young guys. You know, yes. That's why I get a little irritated with people when they talk about corner position. You know, a lot of people, I guess, are forgetting we got Isaiah Rodgers from the Colts this past year.
Yeah.
Yeah. 25 years old, and he was balling the year before he got suspended. He was one of the top corners in the league.
And that's the key thing. Suspended. He wasn't injured. He was suspended.
Yeah, he wasn't injured. He was just suspended.
Yeah.
You know, you got Keely Ringo, who's really good. You know, he's got a lot to improve on. He's got a lot of work to do, but for how young he is, his potential's off the charts.
Raw. Yeah.
You know? You go out and you get a corner in the first round or second round, these guys are never going to see the field, and I'm never going to know who they are unless somebody gets injured. Because you still have Barry, you still have Slay. You know, Isaiah Rodgers is probably going to either be outside or in. They're probably going to move Bradbury in and keep Isaiah Rodgers on the outside. Slays too.
Yeah.
That would be what I do. Because Bradbury, I don't know. I don't trust him outside anymore, so I'd move him inside. Because you don't have Maddox, thank God, because he was a fucking injury risk.
All the time.
Perfect, amazing when he was on the field, but terrible whenever, he's not out there.
Exactly.
And then you got Kaylee Ringo too. So, and then there's some younger ones under him that are really good,
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't want to flood that position too much because the talent is there. You just got to develop it, and you can't develop it unless the guys play.
Yes.
So
I agree.
I'm a little not sure why corner is such a big ordeal, and especially if Vic is just this god that everyone says he is. Well, then he shouldn't have an issue with what he has. There shouldn't be any issue at all, especially if you got Hassan Riddick on one side and Huffle on the other. You're looking at a really good pass duo again.
Yeah. Honest. Randy, you know how much I hate the Eagles, but having played center my entire football career, Jason Kelce was one of the best centers I've ever seen play the position. Hall of Fame, no doubt. Absolutely. And considering where we got him, it was a 6th round draft pick. How many Hall of Famers just come out of there like that? Like, he even thought himself he wasn't going to make the Eagles, and then look what he turned into. Jeff Stoutland did a lot to make that man who he was. So Kelce would even tell you the same, that without Stout, he wouldn't be where he is. So,
see, and that's another reason why I'm not so worried either, man. Like, people forget, Kels would not be Kels without Jeff.
Without Stout, there's no
Mailata would not have been a 7th round fucking all-star without Stout.
Rugby player.
Dickinson would not be the highest paid fucking guard right now if it wasn't for Stout.
Yep.
Jurgens last year was looking like Kels on those fucking pools. He was going downfield. All I'm saying, man, is I understand he left, but we all have to understand too. There is a reason Jason Kels picked this man. There is a reason he handpicked him and told Howie to grab him.
Yeah.
It will
I see that kid in that kid is me. That's what he said.
It will be a little bit of a pullback.
Yeah, of course.
It will be a little bit, but it's not going to be dramatic. The kid is going to make mistakes at times, especially because he's going from right guard into center. He played last year at one position. Now he's going into what he was. But he got to play next to Kels all year long.
Yeah.
He's heard his cadences. He's seen how he did things. He understands it all. I don't think Kels would also retire if he didn't think Jurgens could handle it.
Exactly.
So I don't think it's going to be as much of a setback as people think it's going to be. I said, he's going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
But as long as we keep doing what we do and Stoutland keeps working with them, man, the kid's going to be Kels 2.0.
Yeah.
Maybe not as good, but he's going to be they're going to be, you know what I'm saying? To be close. He will be a Hall of Famer if he keeps doing what he's doing.
A couple of years, 3 years down the road, we're going to be laughing, going like, man, could you imagine there's so many Eagles fans worried about the center position when Kelce left? But literally, we have baby Kelce 2.0. It's like, yeah, exactly, because Kelce literally probably sat there and scouted the shit out of this kid, going, I see myself in this kid. He does literally everything I'm doing. So it's like, there you go. There's the guy. There's my replacement.
Think about it, man. Jason Peters left.
Yeah.
What happened? What happened?
Nothing.
Mailata stepped right in and did his thing, right?
Yeah.
Sayamalu left.
Yeah.
What happened?
Nothing.
Dickinson stood right in there and did his thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Brandon Brooks retired.
Yes. And that wasn't unexpected either, too.
What happened? Nothing. All I'm saying, dude, is we're very good at doing what we do. Howie is
Exactly.
very good at what he does, and that is finding the best offensive lineman to fit Philadelphia. And I'm telling you right now, bro, you might go from 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? That's going to be your drop off. You went from the number 1 offensive line down to 3.
Exactly.
Is that so bad? Really?
No, because it
No.
makes you want to work harder for next year to be number 1. So it's like,
That's my point. So I think we'll be just fine, man, when it
Yeah.
comes to that. Okay, so I'm going to talk about what
just Chad. He wants to. A lot of the Steelers fans just hate that man,
who?
Tomlin. They just don't like Tomlin.
Chad, I don't understand how you don't like your head coach, bro. 19 winning seasons. 19?
No, not Chad, but just Steeler fans. Some Steeler fans in general
Oh.
are like get rid of Tomlin. He hasn't brought us any success in X amount of years. And I'm like, having winning seasons isn't a success.
Well, depends on what people think success is, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. So, all right, I want to talk about I would say my most underwhelming signing.
Okay.
Well, not underwhelming. Sorry, that's the wrong word. But underrated signing.
Underrated?
Yeah,
Okay.
underrated signing. Sorry.
All right.
Huh?
All right.
What's good, Earl? How you doing, sir? Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Hashtag I'm free. So, Devin White. Listen, I have heard some people clap back about this kid already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand the kid isn't the best when it comes to pass coverage. I understand that. But this kid is a dynamite, dude. He is. When it comes to the run game, when it comes to blitzing, he is a dynamite. I don't know how they're going to use them. I'm very interested to find out. But I'm telling you, a lot of people are doubting this kid. He could be the linebacker that we need going forward. He is only 24, I think, 25. He's very young. You know, and, yeah. And he came into the league very, very young. So he's probably got a lot to learn. But I'm telling you, don't doubt this kid, man. Tampa loved him. They did. You know, I know that some people were excited to get rid of him, but even my stepson called me the day we picked him up, and he was like, "Hey, man," he's like, "Congrats on getting White." He's like, "He's going to do good for you." You know, I understand that, like I said, his pass coverage might be a little but that's what coaches are for. That's what development is for. That is what, we bring them here for. I mean, if you're telling me that Vic can't get him ready, then I guess Vic is not our guy to be our coach. I mean, that is what they are there to do, to coach these guys, get them ready, and to develop them. And Devin White is probably one of the best middle linebackers we could have got to develop. But that's my opinion, man. I think he's going to be a huge impact. How about you?
Yeah. I had some of my qualms just because like late in the season last year he got benched and he didn't finish the last three games of the season because I don't know, maybe something going on behind closed doors, maybe something going on with the head coach. But it's like, again, it's like I just keep wondering the 1 year rental, and then like let's say he does what you say, what you're hoping he does, right? And like he goes out there and he has himself like the best season that basically any linebacker that was a free agent could. now he's going to be too expensive for us to retain. And now it's going to be like, well, what the fuck are we going to do? Now we're going to go get another guy that's going to hopefully be out there on a 1-year deal. It's like, I wish they would just finally address the situation and either pay a linebacker or draft a linebacker, like worthwhile. Because right now, I hate to say it, but it's like, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. Shout out Crumble Cookie. Nakobe Dean hasn't had a full healthy season. He is yet to have a full healthy season. And, I know he was a later round pick, and that was the reason why he fell. A lot of people thought he was a projected first round. He fell to second, fell to the third. He ended up coming to us when he did. So it's like, if he doesn't have another full season, I think the team needs to really start thinking, is this the year we draft backup linebacker, and if he gets injured, then we cut our ties with him and we move forward with what we have? Or do they do another year where they hope that Nakobe Dean stays healthy, they hope that Devin White stays healthy, and they hope that everybody just has a good year? Because if not, we're playing that stupid game of bashing our head into a cement wall. I feel so. It's like, that's the only way I feel. But I do like the signing.
No, man, I'm with you on that. Like, I will tell you this right now. I am really tired of Avonte Maddox type players,
Yes.
injury-prone players. I'm tired of – it always seems like we get one. More than one sometimes,
Yeah.
I had a lot of expectations for Nakobe, but so far he's been a Maddox. Injured more than out there, and that's not cool with me, man. I'm just saying that I want a Jeremiah Trotter again. Somebody who can take over a game, somebody who is dynamic, someone that a team fears. Where's my Fred Warner? I want a Fred Warner. I'm tired of not having a Fred Warner. I think linebacker is one of the most important positions on defense. Not only are they your captain of your defense, but they are the heartbeat, man. That's why Ray Lewis got paid the way he got paid. That's why Brian Urlacher got paid the way he got paid. That's
why Luke Kuechly was so good as why Luke Kuechly was so good. Yeah, like.
That's why Fred Warner is why the 49ers defense is amazing. There's a lot of players on that defense, but he's a very big part of it.
Absolutely. He's the motor that keeps them running.
No one fears our linebackers. No one. I don't fear them.
Street guys, man. It's like.
So, I don't know, man. I hope he does get it together. I hope he does do something. I mean, if I am right on White, dude, and he comes out and he gets over 110 tackles this year and he balls out and does his thing, I pray to God how he retains him. I pray to God he gives him a 3-4 year deal and he's like, hey, man, continue doing it. You're 25 years old. Let's go. But he probably won't. But I can't say that because we sit here and we say that Howie doesn't pay for halfbacks, and what happens? Saquon Barkley. So
exactly.
I don't know. It's interesting, but I hope we just address in the draft defense for the most part. Maybe a halfback and a no lineman, and later in the draft, like 4, 5, 6, but definitely first 3-4 picks should be defense. And I would definitely start with linebacker, like first and foremost, but like Trotter Jr. maybe.
Yeah, you like him?
They got a way to get him. That would be an amazing pickup. In all honesty, that's really the only one that I want. I'm very comfortable with what Howie did. Very comfortable. Now we just got to use the draft to fill in the pieces.
That's true. I myself like that kid out of Texas A&M, the 22-year-old Edrin Cooper, the 6'3", 230-pound linebacker. His immeasurables and his side to side is almost Warner-esque. He
just fast, dude. He is a lightning quick.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm torn between obviously the name, obviously Jeremiah Trotter Jr., but it's like Cooper's right there. And then there's a guy that nobody's talking about, and I don't know why, but I get it. And it's what you said, injuries. But Peyton Wilson, this guy out of NC State is a fucking tackle machine. Like, he literally looks like the guy from the caveman from the Geico commercial. He's he's just like but he fucking, you look at his tape, the guy's like a missile to a fucking a ball carrier or a wide receiver, tight end, and he brings them down. Like, he just brings them down. Yeah, he's had some injuries, like not last year, but the year before. But he had a full, I believe he had a full healthy season last year, and the guy was a stud. There's so many players out there I wish that we could go after, that I hope that Howie addresses, that apparently our team's history has proven that we don't draft below. Screw all that shit. Draft the best available player, like you said, on defense. Let's build this powerhouse.
Yeah, man, listen, there's one thing I learned last year too, and I will never stray away from it anymore. You look at Kansas City's defense this past year. One, I believe they had the youngest team defensively.
One of them. Yeah, one. Yeah.
That defense carried that team, and that defense won that Super Bowl. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is what it was. It was a dynamic defense with a offense. I mean, when you look at the Super Bowl, there is no way in hell anyone can sit there and tell me they knew with a shadow of a doubt Kansas City was going to win, just because of how that offense can putter.
Yeah.
Because that defense stopped CMC. They stopped Brock. First, that I've already said it too, man. Brock lost that game. You can't calculate for 7 points with an offense like that. That's terrible.
Debo, Kittle.
Yeah, 7 points. You accumulated 7 points that entire game. 2 of them you overthrew. One to Debo, one to Ayuk in the end zone. Both of them 5 yards out of reach. Overshot. I'm just saying, man, that game, they never should have gotten that W. But that Kansas City team and Spags, dude. Holy shit, Spags.
Yes.
So much freaking credit. Spagnuolo is amazing, dude. And that defense is legit. But that's why whenever I look at our high-powered offense, and especially before the moves we made, I was a little pissed, because I was like, what's it matter if you can score 44 points if the other team can score 46?
Yeah, exactly.
It makes no sense. So
no,
as long as my defense is dynamic, as long as it is in tune with one another, everyone is on the same page, and everyone puts their egos in check and just does their job and does it to win and win as a team and not individually, we should be okay.
Yeah.
I don't think our defense is going to be as dynamic as 2022.
Same.
I don't think it's going to be as dynamic as 2017.
Same.
But it's going to be more dynamic than what it was last year. Anything can be, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, please.
So all I know, man, is that I look forward to this season. I have a lot of faith. I have us around 12, 13 wins, just with what we have right now.
Yeah.
I know teams are getting better. I'm very interested to see Washington this year. I think Washington will finish second. I don't think Dallas will be second. I think they'll be third, because they haven't done anything,
Yeah.
There's a lot of bullshit going on over there. And, dude, all Washington has done is just make move after move after move. I really like the moves they've made. If they can get the right quarterback, that team should be pretty nice, man.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah. So, we got some competition. It's going to be nice. But yeah, man, it's I'm just a little iffy about it. Like I said, and it's not that I don't believe in the talent or the people we have on this team. You know, certain ways I do question Nick, but I don't, because I know he's been able to lead this team before. He's been able to get us to a Super Bowl. Now, how much of that falls on his coordinators at that time, that remains to be no knowledge that we know.
Yes.
That's behind closed doors in a locked box somewhere. But
Yeah.
I think we know. I think we all know. And that's why we feel excited this year whenever we brought in Fangio and Moore, because we're like, all right, experienced coordinators again. Maybe they can help Nick get back on track.
Yes.
So I'm with you guys. I 100% agree with you guys. But I have my reasons to be skeptical too.
Of course. I like how they went through and got everybody. Like Clint Hurt came in. That have you seen that man? Just his presence alone should just fucking bring some fear to our defense, right? Like I think we signed Clint Hurt to play defensive tackle. I don't think he became a coach. I think they brought him on to be a dude on the line. But no, I just feel like the guys they brought in, it's like a newfound blood. Guys that just want to show their worth so they could potentially maybe get something in the near future. So I feel like hopefully they rounded out a good cast of guys this time, not just something just for the sake, just because he wanted this guy or that guy for X and O reasons. No, we brought in the X and O reasons. We got our OC and we got our DC. So now it's just a matter of Nick making all this work together cohesively.
Yeah, no, man, I'm going to tell you this right now. Where I was at the end of last season, I was pretty pissed. We all were. And I will tell you, I was ready to – I was even in my mind, I told many of my friends that fire them all. I don't want them here, not even Nick. And everyone's like, oh, I'm like, no, dude, no. We take too much pride in this team. We spend too much of our hard-earned money on this team for what happened last year to happen. That was disgraceful. That made us look bad. That was so unprofessional on so many levels, bro. Like, and that is not who we are. We pride ourselves as fans way too much to have that shit happen to us.
Exactly.
So I really was on I was like, fire Nick and go get me I can't think of his name right now, but the D coordinator from Minnesota. No, the D coordinator from Minnesota. Miami Jets head coach.
Brian Flores.
Yes. I was ready. I was like, you know what? We've had offensive coordinators, the last 3 head coaches. I'm tired, and especially the way our defense acted last year. I was like, I'm tired of having defensive struggles. I'm tired of this bullshit. Go get me Brian Flores. Bring a dynamic defense in here. Let's rebuild it. And you still got Jalen. You still got AJ and Smith. And you can make the offense work, but get me a freaking dynamic defense, and give me somebody in here I know who has a dynamic defense. And he does. But I'm okay with what they did. I'm okay with it.
You're okay.
That was the second best option. Like there was only that option or the one they did. I understand that the hate for Nick shouldn't be there because the guy has done a fantastic job as our head coach. I'm not gonna lie. He has.
Right.
His record shows it.
Right.
And I like his demeanor a little bit. I like his cockiness. It's fun. It's entertaining. I wish he wouldn't have run on sentences. But, dude, seriously. The guy asks you a question, say a quick line, shut the fuck up, move on.
Right, yeah, it's like an hour later. It's like, oh, God.
5 minutes to hear you say the same shit 3 fucking times over. Like, I got it the first
Okay, we get it. You water the plant. Okay, fuck. It's like...
yeah, just answer the question, shut the fuck up, move on.
Yeah.
Then, dude, it was hard to watch that interview today that he did because I was like, all right, when's the next question coming? 2 minutes later, are we at the next question yet? Like,
imagine the reporters. Oh, they're sitting there like biting their pens, like fucking guy, man.
yeah. So, I'm willing to let it ride. Oh, I have to. I'm not willing to. I have to. It's not my.
It's inevitable now.
It's out of my hands. But we'll see what happens. I feel good about it. You know, in all honesty, Dak Prescott had his best year under Kellen Moore. You
Yeah.
know, and I think that was his 5,000-yard season, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that was with all the weapons like we have on the outside with their tight end and their running back and this, that, and third. And look what we went and got, a running back, because we already got our tight end and our two wideouts. I had one question for you before you ended this, and that was coach actually asked it, and it was what is your take on them banning this drop hip tackle? Like, so basically a stat came out at the end of the season saying apparently scoring was down this year. So what happens? Next thing you know, we hear there might be revamping a tackle rule. What's that tackle rule? This. Now, I do get that it does at times cause injuries, like it does, but we're playing a man sport where injuries are everywhere. Like you could, an offensive lineman could step on a quarterback's foot, and that could be the quarterback's foot season for who knows how long, the whole season, this, that, the third. So now my question to you is like, is this just a way just to continuously bring up scoring, or are they actually taking care of players? Because remember, they're also talking about adding another game. So is that really taking care of players?
Listen, man, you know how I feel about this. I'm sure a lot of people do.
Yeah.
This is not a pussy sport.
No.
Okay. These kids are born, they are raised to play this game. There is a reason people like me and Randy and all of us are on here and they're out there.
Yeah.
They are God athlete freaks with freak of nature talent, and they're unnormal human sized beings. Okay. They are. They're everything every single one of us want to be. What's going on, Joey? Appreciate you, sir, for stopping in. Thank you. When are we going to get to a? We might as well just make this flag football. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. The rules are just getting out of hand. I understand that you don't want people to get injured. I don't want people to get injured, but in a way, injuries happen in this sport. You know, I don't even like to bring up the DeMar Hamlin thing. You know, but that was a scary dude. I watched that live. I watched that shit live. A lot of us did. That was scary as shit.
Crazy.
But that was a freak accident because he hit at the time his heart made that one certain beat, and it just freak accident. We all cringed.
They said like 1 in a million. They're like, it's like getting struck by lightning. It's like,
yeah, it's insane, man. And I'm just saying, like, but that made us all stop and think. And I'm so happy the kid is better, and I'm so happy he was even playing last year.
Yeah, played the playoffs.
You know what? He's playing because he knew the risks. He was willing to take them, and he's still willing to take them because it's what he loves to do.
Exactly.
Okay. Secondly, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, these guys get free health care while they play. Okay. I'm pretty sure the NFL gives them free medical, like everything is free to them. Their MRIs, their x-rays. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure they don't have to pay a single dime. Okay. Carson Wentz made $120 million off of us. Why am I worried about his injuries? He's not worried. He's still playing. He even played last year.
Yeah.
They don't care if they get injured. None of them do.
No.
They know when to walk away, and they know when not to.
Yep.
Which, by the way, I'm actually very surprised Nick Chubb is coming back.
Yeah.
I want it, especially because it's the same knee twice, but that's a different story. Yeah, man, no, I understand you want safety, but you also can't take football out of football.
Yeah.
I understand the drop hips because that is how a lot of people get their ankles rolled on. That is a lot how ankles get injured. But bro, sometimes shit just fucking happens, man. Like I told you, you know how they made that rule at the beginning of last year where you can't leave your feet and do that one tackle, however the heck it is.
Yeah.
And then Kazee, the Steelers safety, put
Yep.
that hit on that one dude. I forget who it was, and they kicked
Set
him
his
out.
ass off. Yeah.
First off, Kazee left his feet before the guy even jumped because he was going for the ball.
Right.
And the guy
And they-
jumped, and they collided in the air. Unless you're Superman, how do you pull off of that? How do you want someone to pull off of that? That is,
Yeah.
you're asking someone who is in midair to completely stop all body momentum
Yeah.
and just do what?
Avoid the contact. Yeah. Sure.
You can't do it, bro. And not just that, it happens like that.
Exactly.
It's not like slow motion where you're like,
Oh, he's gonna catch the ball. I better move. It's like the ball's in the air. I gotta get it.
I'm so tired of hearing this shit. I'm so tired of, like, for instance, the defensive pass interference. Man, sometimes just let these guys fucking fight it out. What if they're using their hands a little bit and they're making a little contact? As long as it is not blatant, as long as it does not clearly affect the play, let them fucking play.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you got to do.
What about tackling a quarterback? You can't even, like, you got to basically put it on a blanket, a fucking pillow, and lay him down nicely. And then even then, they're like, oh, flagrant, you forgot an extra pillow. It's like, what are we getting to? So, like, how are they supposed to tackle somebody from behind? Are you supposed to run right in front of them, turn around, and then be like, okay, now hold on, okay, I'm attacking your feet. It's like that. Like, they're making it almost impossible. There's so many rules for the offense, and the defense just keeps getting fucked. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and then you also have that, what is it, the tight end box now?
Yeah.
Where you make contact with the tight end while he's in that one, what is it, that 5-yard box, 10-yard box, or whatever the hell it is.
5-yard box. Yeah, it's the 5-yard box. Yeah.
Bro, what? What?
No, Victor, it's the NFL.
If I touch him, I get a flag? What?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And then how many times do you hear coaches say, oh, jam him at the line so you can redirect him, because then it throws him off his trajectory where he's supposed to get to a certain point, cut or break from there, and then come in or out. And then a quarterback expects him to be precise on that. So if you jam him and he expects him to be here, but he's over here, that might throw the play off. Perfect. Gives the offense or the defensive line another half second or two to get to the quarterback. Yeah. If that's not allowed, then what are we playing? Like you said, flag football? I'm good, thanks. I don't like watching that.
Listen, man, I'm not saying that the NFL is rigged. I would never say that. The NFL, I don't believe it is. Okay.
The Swifties believe you.
But I will say this. Since betting got involved, I believe that they use penalties to keep games close, to keep games at certain paces, because in all honesty, Vegas doesn't want to lose. They're not going to let Vegas lose, you know? And not just that, the NFL doesn't want to lose. It's all a money game. So I believe that they influence games to a point, if you know what I'm saying. I believe sometimes they are a little more critical on certain penalties when they don't have to be, because the game might be going a certain way that they don't want it to, and the bets in Vegas are going another way, you know?
Yeah.
So I believe they might do that. But as far as them knowing who's winning, no. I don't believe that, you know?
Yeah.
I believe teams do get screwed. I believe that sometimes maybe even the NFL might screw them. But like I said, it's only because of Vegas odds, in my opinion. I understand why people love the gambling part of football, but I think it was possibly the worst thing for this sport.
For all, I think personally, for all.
Yeah, I think it was possibly the worst thing to do for football, period.
Yes.
Because now you are making people question exactly what I just said.
Exactly.
Are you influencing penalties to keep games in certain distances? Like, you want a +3, you want a -7, you want a, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I started to cut you off, but I got to find this video for you, and I don't know if you've seen this video. and it's this kid sitting down with a bunch of kids on a podcast, and he goes, I play at one of the prominent schools, and the mob dictates what happens in games. He's like, somebody will come up with a bag, and they'll say, I want you to throw 3 interceptions in the second half. It doesn't have to be consecutive. You could throw 1 and then throw maybe 2 touchdowns and then throw 2 consecutive or whatever. But I need those 3 interceptions because I need to hit on the 300 or on the 3 interceptions over. And he's like, I'm not going to name the kids. Like, I'm not going to name names because there's people right now in the NFL that have actually been a part of this. And I'm like, man, if this kid keeps running his mouth, he's going to be found with the fishies because, they don't want that kind of stuff out there.
This is the only thing that I question. Okay. And all day, Ed, what is good, brother? Hope everything is good with you, dude. It has been so long. I hope you're good. I hope Gio's good. Appreciate you for stopping in, man. And yes, you have no longer Kirk Cousins to worry about. God bless you. I hope everything works out for you.
Got Sam Darnold, but
he's Atlanta's problem now. So, go get yourself a quarterback, though, bro.
Yes.
No, listen. Hold on. There was one. Go up one above him, I think. Oh, wait.
This one?
Yeah. That. I don't think. How can I say this? I don't think people think it's rigged because of gambling. I think, like I said before, I think they can control it at certain times.
Like you said, not outcomes, but stage things that happen that change maybe certain scoring drives or something.
Now here's the thing. You could literally say that them calling a penalty changed the game because of momentum. It, maybe 2 penalties in a row, or 2 back, or one after another, or one altering penalties.
Right.
A lot can happen, a lot can change, and the other team wins, and you can say, well, that's bullshit. That I understand that, but the outcome didn't come from the outcome didn't come from the refs. It came from the penalties and the momentum swing and kill of momentum.
And the kill of momentum. Exactly.
Yeah. So I understand why people think games are rigged. I mean, hell, I've questioned it, but I can't say that, because if it is, then everything that I love is for what? That is probably the most bullshit thing ever, and I think we would all hate that. And also, I didn't know, but NFL players have to sign NDAs.
Non-disclosure agreements for what?
Exactly. For what? As a fan, we sit up here on YouTube and we like to think we know everything.
Right.
Or a little bit about all of it, We don't know what happens in the background. We don't know what happens on certain things, because we're not in the building. But for the most part, we like to think we know everything there is to know about this game, that they've told us everything there is to know.
Right.
Well, then why do they need NDAs?
Yeah.
If you know everything about this game, you shouldn't need them. Now, I guess, you could say NDAs for contract talks and shit like that, but that's in the rules. So, we have rules that you can't talk to players, during a free agency at certain times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You don't need NDAs. That's a given. So, like I said, we know everything about this sport, but why do they need to sign NDAs then?
Yeah.
What can't they talk about?
No, now you're gonna got me fucking.
That's all I'm saying. There's no reason for any of it. But anyway, that's beyond the point. We got off on the riff there. So before we get out of here, bud, you got any draft thoughts? How you
Yeah,
like
I
to?
actually had a couple questions for you. Would you be opposed to them drafting a wide receiver? Like, and I'm now again, I'm going to say this with some hypothetical. AJ ain't going to be here forever, and we can't afford potentially his next contract because we got to worry about Devontae. And I think moving forward, we should keep the youth movement a thing. At some point, cut your ties. I understand what AJ's meant to the city, and I'm not sitting here saying he's got to go tomorrow. But at some point, we got to become real that his next contract. Remember, we just signed him to $100 million contract. His next one, because he's been balling out these past few years, and if we expect him to ball out the next few more years, that contract is going to be worth a little bit more because it's going to be his last opportunity. Whether or not it's with us is another question. So my question to you is, do you think the Eagles should draft another wide receiver? Because we lost Quez, so, and I understand Devontae Parker came in, but he's 32 and his contract's not guaranteed. So a $1.2 million would just be thrown into the wind.
First off, man, you might as well just kept
All the made Zacchaeus. Yeah.
Campbell and Parker are just pretty much him.
Yeah.
And going to be him. You know, you might as well have just kept Quez because that's what they're going to do too. I understand what you're saying. Now, I do have a little bit more for Campbell. I think Campbell could be a better threat than all of them. You know,
I wanted him last year.
Yeah. You know, I think Campbell is probably more than likely the sure bet 3 as it sits right now.
Okay.
Which isn't bad. But,
right.
You know, I will say this too, though. I can't sit here and tell you that Olamide Zacchaeus' non-success last year was his fault.
Right.
Poland didn't throw to him that much. I think he only hit 49 times out of the whole year. I think it was like something like that.
Yeah. It was low. It was like 50 something, but you're right. Yeah. Anyways, that's beside the point. Yeah.
I mean, when you have the weapons that we have, and now that you add in Saquon on top of it, how many times are you looking at your wide receiver 3? They're just kind of there for a distraction at this point, right? Or to be a safe gate. So if you
Julio last year as well, we even had Julio Jones play the number 3 at points. So
bring him back. I'd rather have him at 3. In all honesty, I mean, he stayed healthy. He didn't get injured.
Yeah,
he didn't, and we just didn't know how to use him. We just didn't know how to use him. So, I mean, I'd take Julio back for my 3 in 1 second.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't think we have to worry about that till next year, though, because I think AJ has 2 more years.
Yeah, I just meant bring the kid in, get him molded, get him recommended with the city and the cold and what it takes to win.
Let me throw something at you. I want a tight end. Listen, we are starting to get into that Zach Ertz area.
Goddard's 29.
I think that was possibly our biggest mistake of all time over the last 5 years was holding on to Ertz. Ertz. There's a lot of Ertzes in this team, man. Ertz. A lot of Ertz. Yeah, but holding on to Ertz after the Super Bowl, that was
not cutting our ties.
We should have traded him, gotten a second for him, or whatever the heck it was, and moved on. We waited too late, and then we got nothing for him. Goddard is starting to get at that time. I like Albert O, and I think we re-signed him, right?
Yep.
But I'm just saying, bro, Goddard and Bowers wouldn't be bad.
I like Bowers, and everybody says I'm mental for going after him. But
I'm just saying, if you would draft Bowers, use them both. What?
He says, did AK just say he wants a tight end? Pause. Sorry, I had to.
Already tight. No.
There you got your answer, Blaze.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and then I'd move off of Goddard at the end of the year. I'm just saying, man, when they start getting to a certain age, listen, Goddard is not Kels. You know, Goddard is not Kittle. You know, he's great, but he isn't them. You know, even Kittle's getting up there. You can see he's not even being as dynamic anymore.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, dude, I'm preparing for next year too, and tight end is definitely my one big position of need. If you remember, we had a really good year when we had Ertz and Goddard. Very good year. They were a dynamic duo, and I would love to see us get back to like a 12-man personnel again. That would be, and in fact, that's when our offense had the most success was in 12-man.
And that's when Kellen Moore had the most success with Dallas was when they went 12-man with the 2 tight end set.
I'm just saying, I would do it, and you know, I like Calcaterra, I like Alberto, but they're not that guy.
No,
you know, and we need somebody of Goddard's level to be a 2. You know,
they're calling the kid apparently the tight end of the generation. Like they think he's better than Kyle Pitts. Like, remember what they said about Kyle Pitts. So
well, supposedly he's had the best NFL combine of tight end history. Like I guess the kid's like the greatest, supposedly. So we're about to find out. But that's what I'm saying. And I didn't even know that until, you know, I know he was the best one coming out of college. You know, that's who
he is. He's the best one right now. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, why not? I wouldn't, if you're going to stay at what we got, 22?
22.
I'd take him at 22 if he's there. No question.
A lot of people think that that's where if a top wide receiver is not available to the Chargers, that's where they think he's going to fall. So Herbert has like a security blanket. So it's Herbert and to Bauer.
Because he's right now.
Yeah, they got nothing. They got nobody. Are there. Like they don't even have a running back. Like they lost Eckler. Like
throw the ball and run for it. He's going to catch it.
Yeah, this is going to be a quarterback option. All right, I'm going to fly out the flat and I'm going to throw it up deep to myself. Okay, right? Set hot.
All I know is I hope Harbaugh has a plan, dude, because you don't make that dramatic of cuddle on offense if you ain't got something planned, you know. And the fact he didn't even sign anyone in free agency for any of those either. Like he did nothing. So I pray to God Herbert has a healthy career this year because I don't think he's gonna have a fun year. I don't, man.
It's gonna be bleak for Charger fans before it gets better. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's so corny, Mitch. That is so corny. The Chargers are not charged 100%.
No.
Listen, they got your Harbaugh.
Yeah. No, listen. Is there any chance you think Herbert gets moved? All right, let me put it this way. Do you think that Harbaugh would pull the trigger and move Herbert to trade up and get JJ to continue his career with him?
Well, first of all, somebody has to be willing to take on Herbert's new contract that he just signed, so he's got that big cap hit. That's why they're in cap hell.
Most teams would take that though, who aren't in cap hell, because Herbert is not.
He's not like the quarterbacks on our squads right now. Let's put it that way. If Herbert had half of what even Baker Mayfield's had in his career for wide receivers, Herbert would be unanimous in people's eyes as a great quarterback. But right now, people are like, oh, you overrate Herbert. It's like, well, tell me when he's had a competent wide receiver, yet let alone a coach. Because the fucking guy's been in the league and putting up numbers with fucking basically garbage workers and freaking post office people, because it's like he's not had a healthy season from anything. And then that TCU wide receiver that they got, he didn't turn into anything anyway. So it's like that was a bust potentially too. So he's making lemons out of limes. So
yeah, but I don't know, man. I was just saying I saw that Harbaugh praised him and he said JJ is the best quarterback in this draft. I was like, are we gonna see Are we going to try and see like a Chip Kelly type thing? You know how Chip tried to go and get Mariota?
Yeah.
I just wonder if he's going to try. I don't know.
crazy. That would be crazy. The Spanos family, not known for paying people as well, because that's the family that owns the Chargers, right? And my sister is running it, and the brothers don't even want anything to do with it because I guess it's just a cash cow. It just eats money. So I wouldn't put it past them to get rid of that contract.
You know what kind of scares me? Who sits with the second overall pick?
Is it the Commanders?
And who needs a quarterback?
Them. Oh wow! Could you imagine
All
giving the Chargers the second
I'm
overall pick
saying
for
is
Herbert?
the Washington Commanders have a shit ton of cap space. I believe they had some of the biggest out of everyone.
Yeah.
I don't think they've finished spending, and I think they have pretty good cap space still, like we do. I'm just saying, if you're in need of a quarterback and you really like fucking Herbert and they want to get rid of him, I'd take Herbert over any quarterback in this draft.
They have $62.4 million still.
I'm just saying. And then
Wow.
he gets his quarterback, JJ, and Washington gets their quarterback that they've been looking for forever.
That was
If I just said that and that fucking happens, I'm going to puke my guts out right on live. But if that happens, it would be on draft night, by the way. It wouldn't happen or maybe a few days before draft night. But I'm just saying.
That would be fucking insane if they did that. Like I'm an Eagles fan for life, and like there's nothing. I mean, I got that shit tatted on me for a reason. Like there's no turning back from that. Obviously, you can get it removed, but that's beyond the point. Oh my god! And you guys know how much I love Herbert. Like I'm a big.
Where are the Chargers right now in the draft? Aren't they like 8th or 9th?
5th or 6th? Are they 8th?
I don't know. I know they're not high. As in like mids and 20s.
They're 5th.
They're 5th. It's possible. Because you could trade Herbert to the Commanders and maybe.
Wow.
What would you? I don't know. It wouldn't be much, man, because you're only moving down 3 spots.
Yeah. Yeah, you would obviously have to backload some of that.
Herbert would get for a lot of that deficit in trade value because Herbert is that guy.
Yeah.
So you would wipe away at least 2 firsts with Herbert. So probably Herbert in like a 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
You then Washington has their guy, and they don't feel so bad about trashing Justin Herbert at the Chargers because they're rebuilding. Ooh, dude, I hope I just didn't knock that into existence. That would suck ass for us, man.
That would be the worst trade known for the Eagles right now. Because then we would have to face Herbert twice, and we would get demolished with his arm. Like they got weapons over there. They got guys now, and it's like fucking they shored up their offensive line. They got Eckler to help in the backfield. They still got Brian Robinson, and he was a stud last year for them. They did lose Curtis Samuel, so I wonder what's going to happen there. But they could address that in the draft potentially even. So it's like FML.
And if you trade Herbert away and you get JJ at fucking 3 or 2. You can grab 2 wide receivers in the 2nd and 3rd round to make up the gap room that make up the gap room for Keenan Allen.
Wow.
Keenan Allen, thank you. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I hope no commander watches this. I hope no commander is watching right now.
Yeah.
I might erase this video after
Don't be
this.
watching. We're actually wiping the video. This episode didn't happen.
So, I mean, hell, dude. Oh, wait. Nope, that wouldn't work because they're behind them. Okay, yeah, I'm going to stop. Never mind.
See, what made this all interesting was when Keenan Allen said he wasn't going to take the pay cut. If Keenan Allen would have took a pay cut, then there's more to the idea of them. Oh, maybe they're going to take an offensive lineman or something to help shore up that Herbert doesn't get hurt. But the fact that Keenan Allen was like, listen, I had 110 receiving or receptions last year. That was my career year. I am not going to take a pay cut just because you guys decided to go into cap hell by paying everybody else at the same time. So it's crazy.
Yeah. this live might just get deleted after this. I don't know. No, so well, listen, man. I think I'm gonna call it quits here. I know you got some things you got to do.
Yeah, I gotta go sit down and stretch out the leg now.
Yep, but thank you so much, dude, for coming on.
Thank you.
It's great to be back, and it's great to have a friend to do it with. And
yeah, it was fun.
Definitely was good to just sit here and talk some football. So
yeah, you're down for it another time? Just let me know, and I'm always available. Like I said, I got an open schedule for a little bit here.
Yeah, no doubt. Got any last words? Go ahead, promote yourself, man. Let them know where they can find you. Obviously.
Yes, that's right. You can find me next shift, everywhere, wherever you want to type into your socials. If you can't find it, then type in the name Randy Genereux. That's GENEREAUX as in xylophone. I'm gonna be hopefully trying to vamp up some stuff here in the near future. Maybe something with the NCAA March Madness. NBA playoffs are getting close. Hockey playoffs are getting close. So like I just said to AK and announced to the world, I will be home for a little bit for the next little while with some health issues. I'm doing good, okay? Just got to stay home. So potentially have more time to myself. So be on the lookout for myself and maybe even AK doing a little bit more here in the near future. So until next time, y'all. Peace.
Well, I appreciate you, sir, so much, and I wish you all the best. And you know I'm here, and we'll talk all the time. So
thanks, Mac.
Appreciate each and every one of you for coming out and joining us today. This has been another, well, actually my first show back in a while.
Yeah.
But another successful one. I am the NFL Reality Check, AK, where AK is the name and knowledge is the game. So appreciate you guys for coming out. Stay tuned for more. Peace.